Hello, Squirrel Nation. Welcome back. Today we are going to cover our community member Dale on his Krixi play. Dale's a platinum player, as you can see, and this is a ranked game. So today's topic, we are going to cover three main things. The first one is farming. The second one is going to be zoning enemies from objectives. And the third thing is going to be how to more consistently land your skill shots. Having said that, let's dive in. Everybody keep in mind when you're playing Krixi, she is extremely good for damage. She has good burst. She has great AoE. Her main flaw is she is extremely squishy. She has no disengage ability or engage ability. So what that means is Krixi needs to be very careful about how she positions. If she positions poorly and an assassin or a marksman or just enemy team's damage at all gets on her, she is dead. So Krixi positioning is key. So to begin, Dale's taking a more passive position. I would prefer if Dale would have taken one of the side lane brush, but that's a minor matter. Okay, they see a team fight breaking down bottom right. Dale's cleaning up. Missed some last hitting opportunities, but that's... Last hitting does definitely affect your farm because it gives you 30% extra gold when you last hit a minion. But at the same time, a lot of times, if you don't last hit, it's not the end of the world. But it does start to stack up, and it is something to consider when you farm. Okay, I'm pausing right now because I want you to notice something. Dale is about to miss golden experience from this minion right here. And the reason he's going to miss experience is because he is too far away to receive golden experience. This type of mistake is very important because you're going to notice throughout the game that this happens to Dale multiple times. And because of this, he ends up missing probably a couple hundred gold and a good amount of experience. So let me explain why it happens. When you last hit a minion, you get the golden experience no matter how far away you are. But when a minion dies as a result of somebody else killing it, then you don't get golden experience if you're too far away. And currently, Dale is too far away. So keep an eye on this minion and you will notice that he does not get gold or experience when this minion dies. Here we go, and it died. Bam, no golden experience, Dale's too far away. So the thing I would like Dale to improve is I'd like him to be a little more careful and a little more precise about his positioning when he is clearing minion waves. Okay, Dale is coming to check red buff. That's great in case. And Maraud is weak against invades early. Maraud needs to get to level 4 efficiently. And if the enemy team comes and steals jungle, that can hurt Maraud. So I love that Dale's going to help his Maraud. That is a great idea. Okay, Dale's clearing wave. The team fight's breaking down bottom. Okay, this is another thing I don't like. Notice there's one minion alive. Dale is starting to rotate bottom. Why did he not finish killing that minion, right? His Jinnar just came, so Dale and his enemy laner are both in lane clearing minion wave, right? His team already had 3 people bottom. At most, the enemy could have had 3 people bottom, right? At most, worst case. So Dale should not have rotated until he finished killing that minion, because that is a missed farming opportunity. Okay, right here. This is another issue where his team messed up, but this goes into zoning. And actually, I want to back up here and freeze. Okay, if we notice... Okay, the Krixi. So the problem was the Krixi was visible up here earlier. Dale is being very, very passive. I understand why Krixi is positioning, right? We discussed the importance of positioning. But now, Krixi has a lot of zoning potential. She can hit her S1 from very far away. So this Krixi, if you look on the minimap, was waiting on the back right side of the Dragon Pit. And Krixi and all of Dale's team saw this a long time ago. What I would prefer Dale to be doing is throwing that S1 to hit the dragon and to hit Krixi, right? Or even just to hit Krixi and zone Krixi away so that he can't just sit there timing out the dragon. You have to imagine if you were Krixi, if you're not close to the dragon because you're being zoned, that means you have to scroll your camera. You have to use this thumb up here to move your camera to go look. when you're doing that, you are very susceptible to somebody jumping on top of you and killing you. It just makes it very hard for you. So I wish Dale in the future would put more effort into zoning enemies away from objectives. And this turns out horrible for Dale's team. They lose the dragon and they give up a kill. So the Krixi does die, but it's a 1-for-1 trade, plus Krixi got the dragon. I mean, outstanding play by the Krixi, and it all could have been prevented if Dale's team would have zoned Krixi back, right? There was 4 people there. There's no reason that nobody should have been touching the Krixi. Okay, rotating down, that's good. Right, notices Baldum's coming back, and mid is pushing in, so Dale's rotating back to mid. I love it. That's a great play. I would be careful about those bushes, because good assassins, like good Krixi, will wait. They'll realize that, okay, mid lane's getting pushed in, Krixi needs to rotate back, and they will set up ambushes. They will set up ambushes from in the middle of your pathing route. So anyways, be careful about that. There we go, good. Up. Missed farm again. Notice? And left another minion. So I think at this point in the game, and we are only 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, and Dale has already missed 4 minions where he was in the lane. He just wasn't at the right spot in the lane. Okay, and everything. Things are going fine. So Dale right now should be evaluating, right, what's happening. And I think Dale, I'm very happy with Dale's rotations. I think Dale rotates well. The main thing is just clearing those waves. So, and Dragon's coming up. See, Dale's taking a safe path. In that case, Dale didn't. So in this case, he took a safe path, but he didn't need to because his Baldum was leading the way down the river, right? As long as you have your support there clearing bushes along the path, you can follow them, right? You separating from them might actually be what gets you killed. Okay, the enemy mid laner's bottom. Dale pulls the dragon. I like that. Pulls it out of the pit. Okay. Positioning, yeah, kind of went to face check the assassin, but it worked out in this case. But I would not advise that type. Okay, their team has 2 kills. Hopefully they're going for dragon right away. And one of the kills was the enemy jungler, so dragon should definitely be done. Okay, Dale's rotating back mid. They're stealing the blue. These are good things. If I was Dale, I would clear this wave and then I'd head directly to dragon. And same thing for the bot lane. I would push that wave and then go take the dragon. Okay, Krixi is back alive. Okay, so it looks like they decided to get the bottom tower instead of dragon. That's okay. I'm with that call. And in Dale's case, he can't force the dragon by himself, so that's a good call not to try to solo it. Okay, and now bottom is wanting to do dragon. That's good. Hopefully Dale's aware. Actually, something I want to highlight. Let's pause here. Look at the gold. So we talked about how Dale has been giving up farm. And if you notice, Dale is 4-0. 4 kills, 0 deaths, and he is barely ahead of Violet in gold. He's only not even 300 gold ahead of Violet, who's also died 2 times and only has 1 kill. And the reason for that is Dale's been giving up those minions. So look, he's already given up probably at least 2 kills worth of gold just standing too far away from minions when they die. Or just leaving a minion and roaming before he finishes clearing the wave. Okay, and this time they pulled the dragon out. Nice, great job. Not sure his ult was needed. See, Krixi, you notice we discussed about setting up ambushes, and Krixi did that. He set up he wanted to ambush their squishies when they ran through here to come back to mid. But thankfully, Baldum did his job. He cleared that bush, and Krixi and Violet didn't go face check it, or else they would have died. Hopefully his team doesn't spend too much time sitting in this lane. Bottom's pushing in. Good. Superman realizes it. Let's see if their team realizes it. Okay, so their team seems to really want to fight over. Okay, nice flash. Bad positioning, though. Honestly, Dale should have never ran there, so he shouldn't have had to use flash. But it happened, and he had a great flash, dodged the abilities, and got out of there without taking damage. So, good and bad. I love Sideswipe. That's awesome. He's checking the enemy's health and everything. Yes, now your bottom, they might be losing that tower because they neglected it for so long. Okay, rotating top. Right now I'm curious what Dale's objective is. When you rotate, you should always have an objective in mind. Like, especially as mid, if you're mid or the jungler, why are you rotating to a certain lane? So Darkslayer's not up, Spirit Sentinel's not up. The only thing I could really see for them to be rotating is either to kill the top tower or steal red buff. And they're not doing either of those, so it's weird to me that they would rotate top. And, okay, he's going to look at gold again. Okay, next time gold comes up, I want to pause, because if you'll notice, Violet caught up to Krixi. So look, Violet is now ahead of Krixi in gold, even though Krixi now has 5 kills and 1 assist. And it's because of those missed farming opportunities. If you go back a little bit, when they killed the Malik, Krixi also ran away from a siege minion and another minion dying, right? So missed out on golden experience there too. Okay, the dragon again, bad positioning. Okay, I hope they zone. And let me pause here, because this is exactly what Krixi did, but see, doing the right thing this time, okay? Dale can't really affect them pulling out dragon because it's whoever has aggro, and if his team decides to fight it there, then that unfortunately is going to be what happens. But this time, when Krixi standing here, you notice Dale's coming and zoning Krixi away. This is outstanding, right? So see, now Krixi kind of worrying. His timing's off. Look, he mistimed it. He jumped in way too early. He dies. They get the dragon, and now their Thane's trickling in. So that's the difference that zoning makes. So just remember, when your team is taking objectives, especially as a Krixier, but any ranged, large damage range person should be providing their team with space. That's what I mean by zoning. I mean, zoning is providing your team with space, making it dangerous for the enemies to get close. Okay, so now they're pushing this lane. That is good. Okay, this is a great opportunity to talk about aiming at intention. So another thing that I notice in Dale's play is Dale misses a lot of skill shots, okay? Krixi has to hit her S2 when assassins jump on her. Krixi really needs, because if she doesn't, she is very likely to die or have to burn her flash, burn her ult, burn things she shouldn't need to burn. And my advice to Dale and my advice in general is stop predicting where the enemies are. Instead, I want you to think, what does my enemy want to do? What is their intention, right? So in that last scene, we know was to jump on Dale, right? Krixi's intention is obviously to kill the squishies. So Dale should have actually aimed. Krixi was going to jump in on him, and he should have landed it there. In this case, that was bad positioning, right? Once again, Krixi is extremely squishy. If a Krixi player or any squishy finds themselves on top of their tank, in this case, they should not be there. I would have preferred if Krixi would have stayed in that bush. Another thing I think that Krixi did great there, though, is that bush positioning was wonderful. It caught the enemy's rotation. So that play started good, but it kind of ended roughly because of bad positioning in a team fight. So I want to rotate back to the micro. So how to land your skill shots is, once again, don't aim where the enemies are. Don't try some crazy prediction. Instead, don't think about it as a prediction. And I know this seems minor, but think about it in terms of, what does my enemy intend to do? What do they want to do, right? This Krixi wants to kill me. Okay, well, guess what? You should aim on yourself, right? Or if you're the tank, you should be thinking, okay, what does the enemy damage want to do? Okay, let's pause for this team fight. Once again, Krixi just jumped in on her tank. So notice she just ran right next to her tank and just got huge damage, had to use her summoner, and now she's low health having to run away, right? That bad positioning. And also, if you go back to that fight, you'll notice Dale wasn't too efficient with the skill shots. He hit people, but he didn't get as much damage and control out of his skill shots as he could have. Okay, I will give you a great way to know when you are doing a bad job of farming. Dale is playing outstanding, you would think. He is 6-1 and 6, right? Yet somehow he is the lowest gold level on his entire team, right? He has the most kills, he has the third most assists, and he has the least death, but he somehow has the least gold, right? That should be triggering something in your mind, triggering in your mind to ask yourself, why is my farm so poor? Like, what am I doing wrong in farming? Okay, so he's taking jungle. This is good. Okay, let's get that gold up. Maybe he just realized it. Okay, this is just a poor use of skills. If Dale would have stood in this bush and thrown his S1 this way, he could have hit both minions instead of just one. Another credit I do want to give Dale, he does a great job of checking gold. He checks it consistently, and same thing with items. He's checking all these things consistently. That's outstanding. Okay, see here, they're taking Spirit Sentinel up here, and Dale's sitting in this bush. He didn't put any damage on the Sentinel, and he's not zoning, because if the enemy came, they would have come on top of Spirit Sentinel and poked it from behind that wall. So he's not damaging, and he's not zoning. I have an issue with that. And, okay, and see, they just lost... Okay, I have to go back for this. I'm sorry. This I must go back. Dale... There's multiple reasons their team failed to secure this Darkslayer, but this is absolutely unforgivable because their team concedes position, right? Their team currently controls this whole area. If Dale would poke at Darkslayer and stand in these bushes, and when Thane's peeking around in this area, throw skills onto Thane, Thane would have got scared. He would have, taken big damage. He might be down to 50% health by the time he comes in here to kill. But instead, Dale and the Violet, who are both ahead in levels and just ahead in levels and definitely better farm than the enemy, concede position and they run to the back of Darkslayer. Well, guess what? When your damage positions back here behind Darkslayer, then the enemy team has just free reign to run in here, right? So that's zoning the enemy, and this is very important. So see, things coming in, and just watch this. Bam, they concede position. They're just, hey, Thane, go ahead and run in here. Go ahead. There you go, straight path right to the Darkslayer. Right? Okay, and then Thane, yeah, no problem. I'll come in here, steal it, and run out. That should never... And then Thane doesn't even die. So 5 people just let one enemy run in, steal Darkslayer, and get out alive. That is poor zoning. And now you can see another problem there is, Dale's team is starting to tilt. Superman's already saying GG. You have to be realistic with how people feel, right? Emotions are a big part of the game. It's not always what you should do, how you should play. You have to consider people's emotions, right? The best play is not the play that just theoretically on paper is the best play. The best play is what gives your team motivation, what makes everybody feel like, yeah, we can win, we can carry this, we can do this. That is the better play, to be honest. Another thing I want to talk about in general in Dale's play that I think if you want to improve as a player, you need to take risks, okay? It is better to be overly aggressive than it is to be overly passive. If you are overly aggressive, you go back and you review your games, you'll learn how to have safe aggression, right? You'll learn to watch the minimap, see where enemies are, but at the same time, you'll learn when you can steal things, when you can get kills. But if you're passive and you're always playing scared, as you move up the ranks, players will just get better and better at being aggressive, and eventually you will find yourself doing nothing, providing almost no value to your team, because you'll always just get zoned out. Like, see, Murad and Krixi just got completely zoned out of that. Same thing's happening here. Good damage. This is better. Much better positioning here, right? They're being safe. They're letting Violet and Krixi let them make space. I want to pause right here and highlight something. Another thing about zoning for objectives, and you always want to act with an objective in mind, okay? So right now, Krixi and Violet, they have a minion. This tower is almost dead. In Krixi's mind and Violet's mind, their main objective right now should not be chasing the enemy team over here, right? It should simply be secure this high ground tower, right? High ground towers are what is going to win you games. Getting one extra kill is not nearly as valuable as a high ground tower. So right now, if I'm Krixi, all I'm thinking is my Violet can kill this tower in about 2 auto attacks. I'm going to protect her. I'm going to make her feel safe. I'm not going to let enemies dive on her so that she can finish this tower off. But instead, we'll see. Krixi gets into the team fight, flashes away, right? That happens. And thankfully, the Violet did have an objective in mind, did have the intention, and did finish the tower. But that easily could have gone differently. Okay, yeah, just, you know, got a little greedy there. That's not a big... Those are minor things also, to be honest. Okay, so there the thing to me that went wrong there is their team got value, they got that high ground tower, they should have just backed out, right? Even though the damage dealers had health still, the enemy team was all rezzing, and their tanks are already low, right? So their Superman and their Baldum were low, like, there's no reason to stay there. Go back, get your health back up, and then start taking objectives again. Okay. Again, he's going through items. Awesome. Dale's making great use of when he's dead. Enemies are grouping right now. Dale should... Great. Dale scrolls to check the enemy's health. The Baldum and Maraud, you can tell, are a little out of sync because Maraud's ulting over a Baldum ult, so he's doing nothing to the enemies. But anyways. Good. Scrolling, watching health. That's awesome. And you can see where, back to the micro and the aiming at intentions, you can see where Dale is aiming. He's trying to predict where Malik is moving when he's hitting this S2. Instead, what I would like him to do is say, I'm going to run into the bush. Malik needs to get vision in the bush. He wants to run in the bush. And then guess where he should aim his S2? He should aim his S2 at the very front side of the bush because Malik has to run into it. If Malik doesn't run into the bush, he won't have vision of Krixi and she can just throw out damage on him for free. Enemy intention. Aim at the enemy's intention. Okay, in general, it is for a character as squishy as Krixi, she should never be leading the way like this. Like, even if your team is doing things that you think are insane, like right here, okay, we could end the game, right? But if your tank goes back, do not take a forward position as a very squishy character with no disengage ability. So that's good. Dale did get out before any enemies collapsed on him. But honestly, even that little amount of time he stayed there could have easily been punished. This is great. Outstanding positioning. I think another really good thing Dale does is Dale is very good at taking strategic bushes and keeping... That is something Dale really does well. Okay. Dale staying behind the tank. I like it. I really hope he doesn't run into the jungle like this. Okay, that's risky unless you know where every single enemy is. Because... Once again, a great way for the enemy team to come back is kill carries, and a great way for them to kill carries is set up ambushes on their buffs, because carries do what Krixi just did. They're like, oh, you know what, I want blue buff, so I'm going to go and grab blue buff, and then a Cricknack jumps out of the bush and destroys them. Okay, their Maraud's trying to do Darkslayer, and they're running the enemies towards Darkslayer, which I... would say is not a great idea either. Okay. Good. Much better positioning. This fight Krixi's positioning is much better. Staying behind the front line, right? Landing the S2, landing the S1. There, Krixi missed the S2 again, but that's right. But overall, at least that fight went much better. They are going to lose tower, it looks like. Okay. So there are definitely little mistakes happening here and there, but once again, the really, really big things in this game are zoning objectives and doing things with intention, right? So when you're killing, when you're taking a tower, as a ranged mage or even a marksman, zone the enemy back. The other thing is micro, right? Dale just needs to learn to aim at his enemy's intention and start landing his S2 more. And let's look at this. Okay, so great. They're taking this tower. They're pushing in. Right there, Krixi, I don't like that she ran right on top of Baldum again, right? I don't think that's a great decision. So that is the video. Okay, so to finish my summary, we covered zoning enemies, why it matters. Dale's team lost a Darkslayer and a Dragon because they failed to zone the enemies properly. Dale, we discovered farming. Dale's major issue with farming is leaving minions on the table, being too far away to get the golden experience, or just leaving them and not completely clearing wave. Another issue, and the final issue for Dale, which I would challenge him, is micro. I think I just made a video 2 days ago about using hero trials, how to practice your micro. I would encourage Dale to go in there with Krixi and practice his micro, and practice aiming at intention. Anyways, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, feedback, good, bad, whatever. I thrive on feedback. It helps me improve my content, and it helps me just give you guys better and better content so that you can learn more and more, and all of us can get the new ranks we want. Finally, if you're looking for a great community, the Squirrel Nation that I reviewed, or that I commented about in the beginning of the video, is our Discord community, and the link to it is in the comments below. Please come join us. We're friendly, we're helpful, and it's just getting bigger every day.